Hi everyone, Finn and Flask here. So this week I've been working a lot in my shop and I wanted to show you a little bit of what I've been doing. And I'm going to show you one of the projects I've been working on. I've been making all kinds of loading blocks. I made this little one out of cherry. Yeah, I made some out of oak. And I made this one out of maple. Just a nice little canoe shaped one. And I made one out of pine. I made a couple quick ones before I went to the woods walk last weekend for my first thing, and I wanted to have some loading blocks. So I think I'm gonna actually make some loading block. Well, I'm gonna make a loading block today for you. And I have this wood right here. This is a nice piece of curly maple. My friend actually gave me this. I gave him the idea a while back because when I'm up in Maine, I order some firewood for my camp. A lot of times I get some maple with some really nice curl, and I wanted to try to, saw it into firewood. And he was checking his own wood pile and he found some nice curly maple, and he cut me some boards. Well, he cut me a couple different pieces of boards, and I ended up resawing these because I figured they'd be pretty good for loading blocks. I also have another piece, which I'll show you right here, that came out of a piece of firewood, and it's got some beautiful curl in it. I don't know if you can really see, but maybe in the future I can make a low profile pistol with this, which I kind of hope to in the future. I'm just gonna let it dry a little longer because it's firewood and it's probably still pretty damp on the inside. So I think I'm gonna make a loading block for my trade gun, and I think you'll like it. So I'm going to use some of this curly maple to do it. So, I have this right here. I'm going to make this one a little bigger because these are for 50 cals. So I'm going to just make it ever so slightly bigger. I'm going to probably cut it off right around here. And that's going to be my length. And I'm going to kind of curve it in like this, right here. I'm just kind of freewheeling it. No, that's not quite symmetrical. Be right like that. And I'm going to cut it over on the bandsaw. See, this radius is in and around what this bend on my bench sander is, and I'm gonna basically play with it to get it to be relatively symmetrical. So I'm just going to kind of take my finger and go like this. And go like this. Get my lines. Those are pretty straight lines. I'm going to come in 3/4 of an inch for my first one. Then I'm going to go 3/4 again. And 3/4 again. I'm gonna pop a center right in and around here. Now to start, I'm gonna pilot the holes. So I want to get them as even as I can. All right, since I'm making this board for my trade gun, I'm using a 5/8 inch Fosner bit because 5/8 is 0.625 and a 20 gauge is 0.62. So you're right in around the seam and it works pretty good. when doing this, you have two methods you can do to get a clean hole. You can drill the whole way through and make sure you have a very clean backing, or you can go from both sides. Okay, so I got a little itty bitty bit of tear out, but I'm gonna countersink these anyways, and it's not gonna be a major issue. Okay, I set up my 3/4 inch countersink, and I'm gonna countersink these holes. Now, I want to slightly soften the edges around, and now I'm going to give this a nice little finish to try to accentuate that curly maple. I have some True Oil, and I'm going to put a few coats on it and let it rest. All right, so I got this one done. It seems to be pretty nice to me. I'm pretty happy with it. So this will fit my trade gun. You know, I built some for 50 cal, and those are probably, well, I cut the holes with a 1/2 inch because, you know, 50 cal is a 1/2 inch bore. And you can probably get away with doing like a 17-30 seconds for a 54 cal, or like a 19-30 for a 58, or a, you know, a 15-30 for, say, a 44. You know, these are all like loose numbers, and you can thin them out a little bit to make sure your balls will fit. But I'm pretty happy with this. Thanks much for watching.